Apple announced the Mac Studio during their March 2022 event. This new Mac is available with two choices of Apple Silicon, the M1 Max or the M1 Ultra. The regular M1, which launched back in the fall of 2020, was already really powerful. I consider the M1 MacBook Air the best computer I've ever owned. But now that there are 4 different M1 chips for Mac computers, Base, Pro, Max, and Ultra, the price-to-performance ratio is becoming a bigger factor. The new Mac Studio, while more powerful, is also more expensive. The M1 Max version starts at $2,000, and the M1 Ultra version starts at $4,000. I've made the joke before, at those prices it should come with wheels, so I can drive it. Now obviously, a new car is typically more expensive than even the most expensive Mac Studio. Even the affordable Ford Maverick starts at around $20,000. So, using the Apple website to customize the Mac Studio with a 64-core GPU, 128GB of unified memory, 8TB of SSD storage, and even adding a copy of Final Cut Pro, it's still less than $9,000. That's not enough to make Vegeta angry. Yet, even at the base price of $2,000, the Mac Studio is too high for my computer budget. An obvious response to that could be, well, you're just not professional. Really, I do all of the high-end computing stuff: web development, app development, animation, photo editing, audio editing, and probably the most intensive, video editing. So let's take a closer look at that. My current 2018 Mac Mini is good enough to get almost all of my work done. The main time it feels slow is with Final Cut Pro. Exporting 4K videos is a bit of a bottleneck when creating new videos for Phottix TV. It's roughly 30 minutes to export a big video. So if I hired a video editor at $25 per hour, and they're sitting around for 30 minutes waiting for the video to export, then how many videos need to be created to start saving money? Well, if you look at the charts on Apple.com, the Mac Studio with M1 Ultra is listed as 5 times faster than a 27-inch iMac. So, a 30-minute task is roughly reduced to 6 minutes. That's 24 minutes of savings. So, instead of spending $12.50 of work hours to have a video editor babysit a video export, that's reduced to $2.50. That's a savings of $10. Nice. Here's what's especially interesting about this video. This is the 100th Phottix TV video. Some are unlisted. So, if all of those videos took 30 minutes to export, they don't. Theoretically, I would have saved $1,000. So, maybe after several years of video creation, the Mac Studio M1 Ultra would pay for itself. Except, reality doesn't work that way. When I export a video, I'm not patiently sitting at my computer waiting for the progress bar to finish. No, I'll go eat, I'll go exercise, I'll go take a nap. Now you might say, well, real jobs are more demanding. Really? Every office job I had in the last 2.5 decades had an absurd amount of downtime. And almost every one of those jobs would likely have denied my request for a Mac Studio. Why should they approve it when a Mac Mini is good enough? Now the 2020 M1 Mac Mini is getting a bit old, but it's still pretty cheap at Costco. It's even cheaper when it's on discount. That's huge savings. So instead of spending $4,000 on a Mac Studio M1 Ultra, I can get an M1 Mac Mini and so much else. Now while it wouldn't be a new car, it could be a new riding mower. The John Deere S100 is $2,000 at Home Depot. A riding lawnmower costs less than a computer? Wow. It gets worse. There's still money left over. It's enough for an electric bike. So I can get a Mac and wheels to drive it around, if I wait patiently for a more affordable Mac upgrade. In other words, I'm waiting to see if there will be an M2 Mac Mini. Does that answer the question of this video? Is the Mac Studio worth the money? Well, that depends on your situation. If you have lots of money and you don't care about economizing, then this video is not to stand in the way of your fun. The Mac Studio is a very exciting Mac. And historically, Macs are not cheap. As mentioned in the second web video, the Quadra 800 was over $8,000 in today's money. And if you truly have the workload to keep a computer super busy, then the Mac Studio could be quite handy. This video is more of a pragmatic look at the new hardware. It reminds me of the law of diminishing returns. It is fun to get excited about a new Mac, but I have to be responsible. While computer processing power is improving, my productivity is not improving at the same rate. A 5 times faster computer doesn't improve my video creation or app development by 5 times. Therefore, it doesn't justify spending 5 times as much on a computer. At least that's what I think about the new Mac Studio, but what do you think? You can let everyone know in the comments. Thanks for watching.